Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm Jeff Howard, and I am sitting across from Jon James Smith. Hey, John.
Hey, Jeff.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You are good. I'm good. We're both tired.
We are. Just finished Film Invasion LA.
We just, you were actually one of those wonderful, you flew in from London, and we're doing this podcast in person because I'm sliding right into your introduction. So I know you because not only was your most recent film Babushka in Film Invasion Los Angeles, 2 days ago, day before yesterday, for the 2025 edition of Film Invasion Los Angeles, the 10th anniversary edition. But in 2022, 3 years ago, the short you made before that, Last Orders, was at Film Invasion Los Angeles. So you are a two-time a returning champion at Film Invasion Los Angeles. And we always talked about doing a podcast, and you wanted to wait till you could do it in person. So here you are. And it's very cool that you got to be at the festival. And I'm going to mention that Last Orders in 2022 took home the Grand Jury Award for Best Short Film Horror. And Babushka, day before yesterday, took home the Grand Jury Award for Best Featurette Horror. So there you go. Multi-award winning filmmaker.
Yeah.
And people, if they want to learn more about you and your work, they can listen to the podcast before this one. Because this podcast is a 4 questions podcast, which means John is going to answer: name 3 films that you love, name an underrated film, name an overrated film, and name a lesser-known film that people should seek out. It's just a fun excuse to talk about movies. And as much as I shit on the Hollywood stuff, you know, they don't always suck. So I'm sure most of your list is Hollywood, but do you want to just jump into it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. You want to name... It's funny. I intentionally make it like 3 favorite films or 3 films you love. Because, like, if you ask someone, what are the 3 best you've ever... You know what I mean? Like, try to lower the stakes. Like, you don't have to name all of them. But you want to name your 3?
Ooh. Every time somebody asks me what my favorite movies are, I forget every movie that's ever been made. But let's see. So my all-time favorite movie is American Beauty. And then in the top 10, there's probably about 100. But let's see. I would say, The Shining's got to be up there. Number 3.
If it helps, you just spit out 2 more that you really like. Just something you really enjoyed or something you've watched many, many times.
Kind of everything by David Fincher, if I'm allowed to say that.
Of course, you're allowed to say anything. Heck, you're allowed to say a genre if you want. There's no rules.
I probably have to name Insidious because that, for me, is kind of what ignited my interest in horror.
The Fincherverse and then the Insidious verse.
Yeah, so, obviously, usually with horror filmmakers, their inspiration is sort of something from the 80s or it's sort of an older, obscure movie or something, but, sort of strangely, my interest in horror didn't really spark up until Insidious came out. I still liked sort of the slasher movies we got in the sort of noughties and, the stuff that was around, but I think for me, Insidious was the first time in a long time where I was like, oh, horror movies are scary again.
And really well made.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Insidious, by the way, and that's James Wan, yeah?
Yeah.
Who also has the Conjuring universe and wasn't there another one too?
Yeah, quite a few. It's interesting because now...
It's quite brilliant.
Yeah, well, now people roll their eyes a little bit in sort of Insidious and The Conjuring because they're like, oh yeah, it's so sort of cliched and overdone now, and it's like, well, yeah, but that's because James Wan kind of created that, it's kind of the biggest compliment to be a cliche now, that you sort of...
Yeah, but still his caliber. But for me, Insidious was the best of his. I'm with you on that because as I told you before, got a teenage daughter who only watches horror, and so when we watched Insidious, I was really blown away. And I love Conjuring, but it's not the same for me. Yeah, I'm with you. Insidious.
Yeah, I love both, but Insidious, it feels like that, and I guess Paranormal Activity really kicked off this sort of horror renaissance.
Absolutely. All right, and I'm just going to, for fun, if you had to pick a fave Fincher.
It'd probably have to be 7.
7?
Yeah. I've got a soft spot for Zodiac, though.
It's funny because I understand that, and really, when you look at if you look over his IMDb page, you realize he's really done a lot of variety. Like a lot of people think of him as the Seven Fight Club guy. He's done so much since then. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think he doesn't get enough credit for that Alien movie. He did Alien 3, right?
Yep.
I think it's great. People crap on that one. All right. Excellent. We've got some favorites out of you. Question number 2 is a film you feel is underrated. So it did not get the attention or awards that it deserved.
I think I'm going to go with Enemy of the State, the Tony Scott, Will Smith film, because it's just such a solid thriller. I think it's my favorite Tony Scott movie. Like, just the energy of it and just what he does in terms of, just that kinetic just feel that his films have. Like, with Enemy of the State, it just flows perfectly and it just kind of grabs you, and it's just such a great ride. And it's a movie I never see on any lists, but I think it's overlooked. I think it's just a perfect thriller.
I will confess that my smile is that I haven't seen it.
You should see it.
I should see it. And I do consider both Scotts to be just unbelievably talented. But I admit I was always a guy who watched more Ridley than Tony.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love Alien, but I think I prefer Tony Scott over Ridley Scott.
Excellent. All right. Well, the next question, and if you need any value time, I'll ramble, but is an overrated film. And I'll buy you... Oh, do you need time or no?
No, I've got one. I'm going to say The Babadook. It's a movie people like to kind of complain about sometimes, or people really love it. But I think for me, it's just the kid is too unlikable. Like, I've never wanted the main characters to die more in a movie. And I think also it's just very similar to a lot of things that sort of we're kind of trying to do with some of our projects, but it's just,
I'm with
a little
you.
different to how we'd want to do them.
I am with you entirely, because I missed out on it for the longest time. And, we're watching stuff with the kid the teenager who only wants to watch horror. So I'll be like, wait a minute, I've always heard the Babadook. Let's watch that one. I've always heard about it. And like the three of us watched it, and we're like, we really were. I mean, I was impressed with some things about it, but it really was almost. We were impressed with like the mother character. I think, I forget, but I was like, that wasn't a good movie. That was just an interesting look at unwilling parenthood. I think, I forget what I thought of it, but I was very surprised that it wasn't wonderful.
Yeah, well, people seem to love it. And
that's the thing, is everyone says how much they love it.
Yeah.
And it's like in that artsy horror vibe that I normally totally dig. Like, I love Saint Maud, but didn't take to it. I'm with you. All right. Geez, we only have one question to go. You're very efficient. And you didn't want to talk on and on and on about the films. You just shared the names. But the last one is a lesser-known film that people should seek out.
So I'd probably say it's probably not that unknown, but Mike Flanagan's early feature film Absentia is just an amazing example of what you can do for very little money. I'm not sure what the budget was. I think it was it $15,000 or $30,000? But it's so simple, but just so creepy and effective. It's amazing.
That's the pre-Oculus one?
Yes.
The reason he's on the board for our festivals is that one of our other board members is the person who got Absentia out there.
Oh, wow.
And he is the kind of person, I've never met him, but he is the kind of guy who, if someone who helped him when he was nobody says, hey, we're launching some festivals, do you want to lend your name to it? He says yes. And we had other people like that on our board early on, and their agents and or managers would say, we want your name off of there. And he's the guy who is not ever even mentioned, like, maybe I don't need to be on your thing, and he's happy. He's happy to help the people who helped him. I've heard nothing but great things about him as a person.
I'm a huge fan. I love everything that guy does.
Really? Very much so. Yeah. I've never seen something of his that I was deeply disappointed in.
Yeah.
And amusingly, he has a guy he writes with all the time named Jeff Howard. Very confusing, very common name. But I think when Oculus was going around town as a script, a friend who's a big shot manager actually called me and said, I just read the best script with your name on it. And I'm like, yeah, it's not me.
Well, we both have generic names, so.
We do, but you have 3 of them. See, if I made everyone call me Jeffrey Evan Howard, which is my full name, then people wouldn't mistake me for the other guy. But it's okay. I'm good with it. All right, John, I will wrap us up again. I probably see. I'm so rusty from the Film Invasion shutdown, making me not do podcasts for 6 weeks, that at the end of the last one, I didn't say that your website and social media will be clickable links in the show notes.
Okay.
It's a very podcasty thing to say, right? Clickable links in the show notes. But if you want to go to jonjamesmith.com or at Jon James Smith on social media or at Babushka movie or film.
So our Instagram handle is Babushka movie.
Movie.
And mine's Jon James Smith.
And yours is Jon James Smith. So those will all be clickable links in the show notes. And then also clickable links in the show notes will be the Discover New Film podcast. Thank you for listening to it. Like and subscribe. Be a nice person. Maybe even write a review. If you enjoyed listening to me and John talk, John and I just made my high school English teacher angry. Give us a nice review. If you want to learn more about the podcast, go to discoverindiefilm.com. On social media, it's always at DIFwins. If you're interested in the nonprofit that runs 2 film festivals of a similar name, that's the Discover Indie Film Foundation. The website is discoverindiefilm.org. And it doesn't have its own social media because nonprofit doesn't need that. But if you want social media for the podcast, it's always at DIFwins. And when I mention the nonprofit and the festivals, that's, of course, Film Invasion Los Angeles that has shown 2 of John's films over the last 3 years. You can learn more about that one if you go to filminvasionla.com, and it's at Film Invasion LA on social media. And its sister festival is the Sherman Oaks Film Festival that we hold every December. That's ShermanOaksFF.com and at ShermanOaksFF on social media. And finally, they are getting a cousin in Lima, Peru. Film Invasion Lima is coming to Peru in January of 2026. I blew it. I was using the Google Flight Tracker, and it went down below a number I'd never seen. I'm like, do I buy my ticket? Do I buy my ticket? And then it went up again. So next time it gets in that range, I'm probably going to buy. But, John, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
And thank you for making great films, and keep at it, man.
Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. That'd be rad. And you know what? We'll put it out in the universe. The Babushka feature film version will be premiering at Film Invasion 2028. 7, 8.
8. Let's say 8.
8. and by then, by the way, we'll be in my silly dream that I shouldn't even say while I'm still recording is that there's this amazing theater in North Hollywood next to the Laemmle where you were is the TV Academy. And that's the Dick Wolf Theater, the guy who created Law and Order, paid for the whole thing. Well, with Netflix and Saban and others. But that's my favorite place to watch movies. And it's only $15,000 a day, I think. Well, it's probably gone up since I got the information.
Okay.
So someday, I hope to have Film Invasion LA, maybe like a premiere screening there.
That's where we'll have the Babushka premiere.
Right.
Can we sell tickets now?
It's Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. And they have a deal with Dolby that they have to, every time there's an upgrade, they get it automatically.
If we can sell 10 grand tickets right now, we might be able to fund the movie.
Yeah. No, actually, I believe it seats 300-ish. So let's say you want 30 million. What's 30 million divided by 300?
I think we could do it for 10.
Okay.
That's realistic, right?
So we just, so it could be 1,000 a time. I'm totally failing it. I'm actually decent at math, but not when I'm haven't slept well for 4 nights. All right, John, thanks again for being here.
Thank you, Jeff.
And thank you, everyone, for listening.